Trying to wrap your head around what that AI chat GPT tool can do? Well, get ready to be even more overwhelmed because the San Francisco startup OpenAI just dropped an even newer version of GPT. They're calling it GPT-4. This version of the chatbot is more precise, and get this, it puts up better scores on several exams, including the LSAT, math, SAT, and AP biology. That's right. Some of the benchmarks to show off its abilities here are the same ones we've been using as humans, but it's scoring a lot higher than most of us humans actually do. And here's another game changer. GPT-4 can also answer questions about images. What do we mean? Well, the New York Times showed it what was in a fridge, and it came up with a bunch of meal recommendations. OpenAI's president says you can ask GPT-4 to do just about anything.
It has these raw capabilities that are so flexible. It doesn't care if it's code, it doesn't care if it's language, it doesn't care if it's tax. All of these capabilities in one system that can be applied towards the problem that you care about. It's not perfect, but neither are you. And together, it's this amplifying tool that lets you just reach new heights.
It's not perfect, but neither are you. With us now is Deepa Seetharaman. She is a tech reporter with the Wall Street Journal. Deepa, that scares me. It's not perfect, but neither are you. Can you jump right in here? What are they not telling us? Should this kind of be slowed down before it's released to the masses?
I think there's a lot of different schools of thought on that specific idea. I mean, there's certainly a lot of activists, a lot of academics, and a lot of people who believe that this kind of AI technology is being launched way too quickly to such a large group of people. Like, there are so many things that haven't been worked out, so many harms, I mean, we've seen ChatGPT spew out racist content, hateful content, sexist content. We've also seen these kinds of technologies spew out misinformation and other kinds of, answers that are not far from ideal. But, then there's this other school of thought that believes that, you have to roll out this technology and you can't just hoard it, and it has more the benefits far outweigh the negatives. And I think right now you're seeing sort of that second group kind of win out because the technology is moving at a pretty fast pace, not just with OpenAI, but with a lot of these different tech companies.
And Deepa, we've seen some of this appear to almost manipulate humans and manipulate how we feel about things when there's a lot of engagement, especially in the beta versions. How close is this version of ChatGPT in figuring out raw facts versus human emotion? Can artificial intelligence do that?
Right now, it's as close as you can get, right? I mean, it is more collaborative, it's more creative, it can come up with song lyrics, it can help you write a term paper, but there are still a lot of limitations, and it doesn't really, a lot of the experts I talked to today say there isn't enough information right now just based on the presentation that OpenAI did today or any of the materials or the paper to determine what it will do. So really what you're going to see is over the next several weeks, people really testing ChatGPT, the sort of GPT-4, and helping all of us understand what it's capable of and how human-like it can be.
Now, Deepa, the craziest thing to me was when it was writing code based on a napkin. It's one of the scariest parts of the technology. Here's a demonstration of GPT-4 turning some handwritten sketch into a fully functional website. Take a look.
And here we go. Actual working JavaScript, filled in the jokes. For comparison, this was the original of our mock-up. And so there you go, going from hand-drawn, beautiful art, if I do say so myself, to working website.
Joke website, I guess that's funny, but can ChatGPT write its own code? And if not ChatGPT, can other AI systems possibly write their own codes in the future?
One thing that was also interesting that Greg Brockman said in his presentation is, he would ask ChatGPT questions about like how things worked or how it drew certain conclusions and learned from it. The company also said in their paper today that some of the training data that they used to develop GPT-4, they extracted from, they asked the chatbot about. They asked it to, as it was kind of, it almost sounded like as if it was a collaborator, right? And that's, you could see how that is a wonderful solution. It could save a lot of time. It could certainly give you ideas, but the risk here, and this is what activists and academics and a lot of people who have been studying AI for a really long time are extremely concerned about. The risk here is that maybe these technologies will do something, but there's no way to really understand why yet. You can't yet, it's still a black box. You can't quite understand what the decision-making capability is. Right now, a lot of students could use these services to help write term papers, and ChatGPT launched some kind of tool to help determine whether or not it was written by ChatGPT, but it could only determine that something like 26% of the time. The actual technology itself isn't quite caught up when it comes to explaining its decisions or maybe catching some of the harms. This is something that OpenAI executives have talked about. This is something that a lot of the executives across the AI industry certainly mention and, at minimum, pay lip service to, but you still have big looming questions about what this technology could actually look like and how it's going to affect regular people.
That just reminds me of a teacher saying, hey, I don't want to make sure you're cheating here, so show your work. This space still seems very, very unregulated. Deepa, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.